Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is Ready, Set, Go. It is the preview show that we do every Sunday night around 7:30, and this is where essentially I give you guys a heads up on all the content, well, most of the content that will be released from the channel over the course of the week. I definitely want to thank you guys for joining me. I see already that we have like 24 people in the chat. I see that you guys have had some pretty interesting things happen this weekend. It looks like some people checked out Captain Marvel. We had some people doing some hauls and picking up. I think I saw Oblivion Song and also Umbrella Academy. So it sounds like you guys are all having a really good weekend, and I'm glad you guys took time out to actually join me tonight. This should be, I think, a pretty good show. We're giving away a pretty cool book, I think, in the Venom Lethal Protector. I think next week's book is also really good. And then we also picked up some additional tchotchkes and giveaways from Go Collect, our sponsor. And so I want to show those to you guys a little bit later. And then we're also going to jump into some news. I don't know how much of it's going to be news, but it struck me as interesting. Let's put it that way. And it builds upon some things that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks. So let me say some hellos to some folks that have joined here, and then we are going to get ourselves started. So Jay Simpson is here. Jay, I think, was the first person to actually comment in the comment section here. He says he missed the last few live shows. He says life gets in the way sometimes. I definitely understand that, my friend. I was scrambling before the show to take out the trash, brush my kids' teeth, and wash the dishes. So that's what I was engaged in right before going live. So I definitely understand that. Dez is in the house. Dez, it is always good to see you, my friend. Absolutely love your setup on Instagram. We had a great conversation earlier this week about Dez's Instagram page. If you guys aren't following him, check him out, because he has some really cool stuff going on with comics and Funko Pops on his wall. It's really, really well done. So Dez is here. Broke Cuz of Comics is in the house. It's good to see you, brother. Wolf Mold 88 is here. JM Comics is here. Dying Bree Comics is also in the house. Sully to Kings is here. He said he saw, I think he said he saw Captain Marvel, gave it a C+. I think that's what I saw. Randy is here. It's good to see you, bud. Who else is here? Walt is in the house. Revival is here. Chris Barrett is here. Fish and Freak is here. James Patterson. It is good to see all of you guys. And again, thank you for taking time out to actually join the live stream. I know I actually ran into some people this weekend. I was at a 25-cent comic book sale this weekend. Video coming soon. And I ran into a couple of people that told me that they watch a lot of the videos on their TVs and can't comment or some of that other stuff. Guys, if you get a chance, go over to the computer, become a subscriber so that you can stay abreast of all the content that I release. My kids watch a lot of YouTube on the TV as well, so I definitely get that. But if you get a chance, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button so that you guys can stay up to date on all the stuff that is coming out from the channel, because we have some really cool things that are coming up. We have a really cool live chat that's coming up later this week. I'll tell you more about that. And then I also sent out a whole new round of invites to join my live stream to do some interviews. I think a lot of people are really enjoying the interviews, so we definitely want to keep the momentum going with that. And I think I'm going to be able to bring you guys some really cool guests. At least that's my hope. Some more to come on that. So it's definitely, again, good to have you guys here. We are also going to get into our giveaway. In just a couple of moments, we're going to give away that Venom Lethal Protector 9.8. And then I'm also going to show you guys the next giveaway. And the next giveaway, to some degree or another, is tied to someone that I am trying to get on the channel. And it'll all make sense if I'm able to actually pull it off. Perry Comics is here. Ruben is in the house. Rush, my Canadian friend, it is good to see you. And yes, there are some changes to the wall back there, man. We've been making some changes. I've had some things on the front wall that I put on the back wall, some things that were in a box that I put up there. And so we're making some changes. And if you notice, the backdrop is also different. We have continued to evolve things over here. I got the wife involved. We got some additional input from a couple of LCSs who watch the channel. So we have some cool things that are going on in the background there. We have a new floating shelf. We have some new statues. And by statues, I mean really cheap banks that add a little bit of color back there. And I'm actually going to tie some of this stuff in just a couple of moments. So you guys bear with me. Johnny Futures in the house. How you doing, brother? I am always thankful for you, my friend. It was good chatting with you earlier. So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about the news. Let's talk about the news first. And it actually ties to this guy right here. I saw some information earlier today that kind of blew me away. And it blew me away because it was really creative and really well thought out and planned on the part of DC. DC is doing, in my opinion, some really cool things. I think their move to trim back some of their titles, I think, was a smart move. Their decision, maybe it wasn't their full decision, but their decision to move to California to be closer to Warner Brothers Studios, hopefully will be a good move for their movies. I know that they decided to not do the DC Extended Universe stuff for now, but I think that may be because they're trying to line some things up, which I think is interesting. But they announced some things a few days ago that I thought were really well done. The 80th anniversary, or maybe the birthday, I don't know how you want to look at it, of Batman is actually coming up. And DC rolled out their plans for what they want to do for Batman. And it's really impressive and really well thought out. I'm not sure if you guys have heard some of this stuff. Broke Because of Comics says, whoa, that's a Batman bank. Yes, it is. And Perry, I don't know if I'm becoming a DC guy, but I think when I see really smart stuff happening and really positive stuff, I want to spend a little time talking about it because I think they're doing some awesome stuff. And again, I think DC is doing some really smart things. So they're embarking on basically a year-long celebration to honor Batman, which I think is really impressive. And so they have like a long list of things that they're going to be doing over the course of this year coming up. And the first thing that they're doing is, I think, is a little creepy. It's a little creepy. They are going to be attending the same conference that Marvel is attending. If you guys remember the South by Southwest conference that I mentioned in the last live stream last week, DC will also be there. South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, they're going to be there. And what DC is going to be doing to kind of kick off this year-long celebration of Batman, they're going to be releasing 1.5 million bats into the night sky down in Austin. And Austin's motto is keep Austin weird. And I think releasing 1.5 million bats into the night is pretty weird, but it's also really cool. It's a great marketing gimmick to get some attention at an event, because South by Southwest, 60,000 people or so descend upon Austin for this 2-week conference, which is music and all types of different entertainment. It's a great way to kind of make a statement about Batman. It's really smart. And I don't know how much of this is DC itself. I don't know how much it is, DC's PR team or marketing team, or if it's Warner Brothers, because the history with Batman goes back some time. I don't know if it's Warner Brothers that's doing some of this. Whoever is doing it is doing some really smart stuff. So the 1.5 million bats on March 15th is going to be huge. But then they're also sponsoring some panel discussions. They have a lot of panel discussions that are going to be going on at large conventions and cons all across the country, including WonderCon. And I know a lot of people are actually going to WonderCon down in Anaheim. And I think that is on March 30th. They're doing the first one. And I think they're doing it there because that is the actual, I believe, anniversary of Batman. And so I know Ben is in the room. I think Ben threw a date out, and I'm hoping that lines up, because again, sometimes the information I get or find isn't always accurate, but they're basically saying that Batman's actual anniversary is March 30th. And that's why they're doing this, this kickoff panel discussion at WonderCon. So definitely a cool thing. What else is going on? They are sponsoring Batman Day. September 21st is now Batman Day. And as part of this, what they're going to be doing is all across the globe, in major cities, they are going to be breaking out bat signals and shooting bat signals out into the night sky. If that's not cool, I don't know what cool is. And I didn't see a list of what cities they are, but I'm guessing New York's going to be on the list, and probably some European countries and stuff like that. But that's really cool. Really cool to put the bat signal up in the sky on Batman Day, which is September 21st. They're doing some cool things with theme parks, with Six Flags. They're doing some things with Warner Brothers parks in other parts of the world. We're going to have extended hours and all of these Batman related experiences that people can partake in if they're at a theme park on, at whatever time they're doing this thing. Cartoon Network, the DC Universe, the streaming service, other network partners are actually doing marathons of Batman, I guess, cartoons and TV shows and movies and stuff like that in the months of March and also September. Lego, Funko Pops are going to be doing some things. And then DC is also pulling in the military and also boys and girls clubs all across the country. I mean, that's only part of the list, only part of what they're doing. And it's like, Batman is a big deal. He is and you guys know, I started recently getting on the Batman train, right? Stay tuned, because I got some videos coming out about that. But I recently started getting onto this thing, but I've always watched Batman. I watched some of the TV shows back in the day. I watched the movies and stuff like that. But I think DC is doing something really smart here by taking the time to actually really celebrate and acknowledge what Batman means to that company and to, the culture, if you will. So I think it's really cool. It's really smart. Maybe Marvel again can take some hints from some of this stuff. And if you look at it, Marvel is definitely the leader when it comes to unit sales and dollar amounts, right? But when you look at what DC is doing in terms of making adjustments to their titles, hopefully shuffling some creative teams around with the variant stuff, with this stuff with Batman, it's really, really impressive. And it's hard to ignore some of the things that they're doing. And I really do hope that DC continues to be successful, because a lot of this stuff is really smart. So what are you guys saying? Yes, I am talking about Batman. A couple of people talking about Howard the Duck in here. Batman is better than Superman, says Tina. I would probably agree with that. Dying Breed says Batman has to be the best-selling comic most of the time. I think if Batman is coming out that month, I think Batman does pretty well. There's no doubt about that. I think there's at least, in the list of best-selling comics in 2018, I want to say there were like 2 to 3 Batman books on that list. And I think there were maybe 2 to 3 Spider-Man books and 1 Superman, which kind of sort of makes sense. So I think you're definitely on to something there. So again, I'm not sure if you guys have heard about some of this stuff that's happening with DC. I think they have a new hashtag that they're starting. It's what is it? Hashtag long live the bat or something like that. I mean, they are doing some really, really creative stuff that has to be acknowledged. And so I'm gonna be honest with you. I was looking at some Golden Age Batman stuff the other day, and it's really, really nice. My buddy Ben, I spent some time with Ben at the beginning of the year, and had a chance to look at some stuff that he had up in one of his comic rooms. And the Batman stuff is really impressive. So you never know. All right. So let's move on. So that's the Batman stuff. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was really smart. And a lot of people give me grief because they're like, you don't like DC and DC guys. That's not true. That's not true. I am a Marvel guy through and through. But again, DC is doing some really, really smart stuff. And so I wanted to make sure that I took a little bit of time to acknowledge that. All right. So you guys ready? Let's do this. I want to show you guys a couple of things that Go Collect has sent over to me. They sent me a nice box of some things that I want to show you guys. They actually sent over a couple of additional tchotchkes and things that they want me to give away as part of what we're doing now on a weekly basis. And one of those things is this variant right here. This is a Go Collect variant from 2013. They had this thing made back in the day, and this is a all new Michael Turner Soul Fire exclusive. And this is a gocollect.com limited edition of 500 variants. And so this thing is pretty slick. It is it's like heavy card stock, the cover that is. And here's the inside cover. See that. Hopefully you guys will be able to see that. It's a pretty slick book. And so for anyone that actually wins the giveaway that we do from here on out every single week, I'm actually going to include a copy of this, and I'm actually going to have to bag and board these to make sure that they're protected, but they're going to win a copy of that. Again, that's a Go Collect exclusive variant limited to 500. And then they're also going to get a Go Collect t-shirt. So I only have a handful of these, but I can actually get more. So if you do happen to win, what I'll need to know is your name, your screen name, your mailing address, and then also your t-shirt size. I actually only have 2 sizes. I have large and extra large. So those are your options. Hopefully you can fit either a large or an extra large. So when you send me the email to reggiecollects@gmail.com to claim your winnings, make sure that you send me that information. And then one other thing before I get to the drawing, our winner of the first contest that we did was a guy by the name of Steven. Unfortunately, Steven was unable to claim his prize, and we waited about 2 weeks. And so based upon like the rules that I kind of set up for this thing, I'm actually going to give it to the second place winner. And that second place winner was a guy by the name of Corey. Corey Peterson is the winner, and this is actually going to go out to Corey tomorrow. So Corey, if you're watching this, brother, this is coming your way tomorrow. And what I've included in here is that Michael Turner sketch cover variant, the Amazing Spider-Man 15. I've included a t-shirt and also one of the Go Collect variants for you. So that is coming your way, my friend. All right. Chaotic Kindness, I'm glad that you made it to the live stream. Jay Simpson says he's fat. I'll give the shirt to my... All right, brother. Yeah, women, women do like a nice size t-shirt. So if you win, brother, just let me know. We can get you the large or the extra large sent over. So there you go. How many people here are over XL? I don't know. That's one tough thing about t-shirts is depending upon whether you're doing it for men or for women, you've got to adjust the sizes. I've sold t-shirts as part of my fitness company, and it is always a tough thing to gauge who's going to want which design and how many sizes to get. It's really, really tough. But the way I look at it like this is that you guys are winning the slab. The slab is the important thing. The t-shirt is the byproduct, and the variant is just icing on the cake. So that's how we're going to kind of look at this thing. All right. So let's go ahead and do this drawing. Again, we are doing this drawing today for this Venom Lethal Protector 9.8. Pretty nice book, I think. White pages, of course. So we're going to go ahead and do this contest to see who is going to get it. So I'm going to try to show my screen here. Bear with me as I do so. Pull this thing up. All right, so we are going to go ahead and share my screen. And the first thing that we're going to do is roll our 2 dice to see how many times we are going to randomize the list. And we have 10. I don't know if it could have gotten any bigger than that. All right, so let's go ahead. Here is our list, and I'm actually going to scroll through this so that you guys can see it. Just as a reminder, one thing that I do is the contest actually ends as soon as I wake up first thing in the morning on Sunday. I will put up a post on the community page and also on the video in which the slabs guidance is given, and it closes pretty early in the morning, typically around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And then shortly after that, I will actually post up the full list of names so that you guys can see it and check it. And so this has been up, I think, since around 8:15 this morning. So let's scroll through this thing so that you can see who all is on here. And I try to be very careful to pull over all the names because I have to retype everything by hand. And so I try to be very careful to read the comments and pull over those that have followed the directions to actually enter the contest. And I want to say that there are 155 names on the list, which isn't bad because I think this video was viewed around 600 or 700 times, I want to say. And I have to go back and look, but 155 names isn't all bad. So your odds of winning aren't terrible. So there we go. That's the full list of 155 people that are in the running for this Venom Lethal Protector. We're going to go ahead and randomize this thing a total of 10 times, and we are going to award this thing. My goal will be to get everything shipped out to you guys first thing tomorrow morning. That's 1 time. Scrolling down to the bottom, that is 2. Here is 3. That's 4. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the winner of this Venom Lethal Protector #1 is Antonio Shelton. I think that's how you say it. Antonio Shelton, you are the winner of a Venom Lethal Protector, my friend. And hopefully you can send me a message relatively quickly so that I can actually get this book out to you in a timely fashion. Again, my goal is going to be to bundle everything up tonight and to get this book out in the mail to Antonio just as quickly as possible. And you have about 2 weeks to claim it. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. If for some reason Antonio doesn't see this video, doesn't claim his prize for some reason or another, it will go to the second person on the list, who I think was Ed D. Ed D is going to be the recipient if for some reason our first place winner actually does not pick this thing up. So definitely a really cool prize for him. I know a lot of people really like this book. So what I'm actually debating picking up another copy of this to give away. Hopefully I can find it for an affordable price, but I'm actually going to try to find another Venom book to actually give away, because I think people really like this book. People are really excited about this one. And so fingers crossed, I'll be able to offer up another copy, another 9.8 at some point down the road. So definitely stay tuned for that. All right. And again, huge shout out to Go Collect for putting us in a position to actually go out and buy these slabs and then ultimately be able to give them away to people. I think it's really cool of them to put us in a position to be able to do that. And I think people really appreciate getting a slab. And I know some people aren't, people that submit things to CGC, but they still want to experience a slab. And so this is a great way to actually be able to do it. All right. All right. Wolf Mode 88 says he believes that the second name, the correct pronunciation of Eddie, is actually Wolf Mode 88. That is actually the correct way to. Yeah, so back in the back, in order to pay homage, if you will, to this week's giveaway, I actually put up a Venom statue right here. This thing is been in my possession since I was a teenager. I used to sit on my nightstand or my dresser in my room. And this over here, I can't remember exactly who gave it to me. It's a print of a Venom, and I think I did a video on it thanking that person for sending it to me. But it is a print of Venom, and it's a really, really nice copy. Next to it is one from RB3. He actually sent me this print, and on the back side is a sketch of the exact same piece. So I kind of put those up there, more this one and the statue, to acknowledge the giveaway this week. And then, of course, this was put up there to acknowledge what was happening with DC and their year-long celebration of the Bat. So that is that's the giveaway for this past week. I want to show you guys the giveaway for next week. I think this one's really cool. I think it's a cool book. Part of what I do is when, the relationship that I have with Go Connect is I actually go out and find books that I think are cool and then I buy them. And so when I'm giving away are books that I think are really cool. So the Batman Damned, I thought was cool. The Sketch by Michael Turner was cool. And then I think, of course, the Venom Lethal Protector. So this next one I think is also pretty awesome. This is Black Panther. This is Black Panther #1 from 1977. This is white pages and a newsstand at that. This is some awesome Jack Kirby magic. So I think that this is a really cool book. Jack Kirby's story and also his cover and art. I think this is a really, really cool book. So a 9.2 that will be given away as part of next week. And as a reminder, what you guys have to do is you have to actually watch the videos that actually come out over the course of the week. Embedded in one of those videos is some directions on how to actually win the book. All you have to do is basically find the video, watch it, follow the directions, and then you automatically get entered into the contest. And it's typically pretty simple. Like this last week, all you had to do was to give me the real name of Venom's real name, which is Eddie Brock. You're automatically in, nothing too crazy. And again, we'll come up with something equally simple for this one. And we'll be giving this book away next week. So if you're interested in winning this book, you definitely want to stay tuned to the videos that are going to be coming out over the course of the week. Follow the directions, and then you will be entered into the giveaway, which will take place next Sunday at 7:30 as part of this same program, Ready, Set, Go. And then you'll also get a t-shirt and a exclusive variant from Go Collect. So definitely some really cool stuff. Chris said it's actually Edward. It's actually Edward Brock. We are not formal around here. We are not formal. So definitely, if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned for that. So let's talk about the videos that are coming out this week, because I think there are actually some cool videos that are coming out this week. I have a couple of them. First, I am actually partnering up with the owner of IG Comic Shop. The owner of IG Comic Shop and I have been having some discussions over like the last couple of weeks about, wanting to do something and trying to figure out what we're going to do. And, I reached out to Brent. Brent was receptive. He, brainstormed for a couple of weeks, got back to me, and we kind of kicked some ideas around. And I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to do a show as a test. So we're going to come together this Wednesday at 7:30. And what we're going to do is we are going to try to highlight books, story arcs that may not get the attention that they deserve. Kind of similar to my Random Run series, right? So they may not be keys, they may not be books that you put on a wall, but they're really cool books, either because they have some great cover art, or they have a fantastic story, or there's something significant in that book. So what Brent is going to be doing, because he has a long history with comics, longer than mine. He's been doing this a lot longer. He reads both DC, Marvel, he reads some independent stuff, some Image stuff. So what he's going to be doing is kind of identifying books to kind of bring forth. And then we are going to get together and we're going to have a conversation about them. Why are these books cool? Why are they significant? Is this something that someone should consider picking up? Should they read it on Marvel Unlimited? It's just going to be a way to kind of highlight some books that maybe don't get the attention that other books do. And so I think it's a really cool show. We'll do it. If people are receptive to it, then we'll do more. If not, maybe we won't. So I think it's going to be really cool. Definitely, I want to ask you guys to tune in for that. IG Comic Store is a pretty awesome retailer. They are known for their bulletproof shipping. I've actually purchased a couple of books from them, and they showed up like 9.8 candidates, I have to tell you. So IG Comic Store is going to be on the channel this coming Wednesday at 7:30 Pacific. I'll be putting a reminder up soon, so hopefully you guys can actually tune in to check that out. And I know somebody said that, somebody's asking about Trivia Night. At some point, the thing is, the Trivia Night and the Comic Wars. So Comic Wars is sometimes difficult to coordinate just because you have two people and it's tough to always coordinate schedules, right? And I've been doing a lot of these interviews and things like that, and Matt's got some stuff going on in his life, so it's hard to coordinate that. The Trivia Night, I don't know if I'm going to do that again, to be honest with you. The thing is that you guys know this. I try different things. If they are, if they resonate, if there's a lot of energy and excitement around them, then I'll do more. I need to think more about the Trivia Night. So I'm not honestly sure if I'm going to do that anymore. The same way that I probably won't do this or that anymore, or even Random Run, because I don't think that with the amount of work that goes into those things, that there's enough people that are really interested in it. And so sometimes you have to, put some ideas on the back burner, move away from some things in order to focus on some other things that, may have a better chance of being successful, like the, thank you, bro. Ruben is saying he appreciates the stuff that I'm doing. No, I appreciate that. And I think the two people that made the comment also appreciate it. I talk to them all the time. They appreciate it as well. I just like to give people context for why I do some of the things that I do or don't do. And so that's what this is. So I definitely appreciate you guys and all the kind words that you guys have shared with me, especially over the last couple of days. All right. Chaotic Kindness, brother, good night. Thank you for joining in. Enjoy that dinner. All right. So the other thing, we have a couple of cool things coming out this week. I want to keep this thing moving forward. I have a hunting video coming out. People seem to like the hunting video. So I have a hunting video coming out. I have something related to J. Scott Campbell, which could be a little controversial. We'll see what you guys think about that, but that's coming out this week. And then I also have a product review that I'll be dropping this week. It's a BCW review of a product, and I think people are going to be interested in hearing about that. And then I also have a new video coming out this coming Friday for new collectors. So you guys know I've been doing this new series on Fridays, trying to help new collectors on board into the hobby. There is a lot of intimidation as it relates to comic books, and people are fearful. People are fearful of talking to other people because they feel like they're going to be ridiculed for their lack of knowledge around a comic or a topic. And so you have people that want to be into comics, but they're actually fearful to talk to people because they feel like someone's going to put them down and to hurt their feelings and expose them because they don't know something. And so part of what I'm trying to do with this series on Fridays is to basically lower the hurdle, lower the threshold, to basically say, you know, at the end of the day, comic collecting is nothing more than a comic in a box. That's what a comic collector is, right? And then, of course, there's all kinds of levels to that. There's all kinds of complications and sophistication and methods that you can layer on top. But at the end of the day, it's a comic in a box, right? Or it's a comic in a bag in a box. It's super simple. So let's strip away some of that mystique and hopefully get more people into the hobby, because that's what this series is all about. So I have one coming out this Friday that I hope you guys will check out. And it's really designed for two people. It's designed for the experienced comic collector who has a favorite character and knows a tremendous amount about that character, right? And then it's also for those people that are trying to get on board with characters but don't know where to start, right? Because if you think about it, if someone were trying to onboard with Batman right now, there are 1,000 issues, 80 years. Where does a new person get on board with Batman? That's part of what this video on Friday is going to be about, is using people with experience to give guidance to those that don't have experience but want to get some experience. So tune in for that this coming Friday. And just as a reminder, most of these videos will be coming out at 3:30 Monday through Friday. So hopefully you guys can tune into that. And again, with the exception of the Wednesday, that video is going to actually be at 7:30 and a live stream. So all right, so we've already given away our book, so we're set with that. I want to give you guys a quick heads up. Boxes. I don't need no stinking boxes. That's because, TJ, you have stacks, my friend. You operate in stacks and not boxes. TJ, you are awesome, brother. It's good to see you, my friend. I'm hoping that you're doing well. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a heads up on a couple of cons that are coming up. And again, this was a request that was made by a subscriber of the channel. It was like, hey, I got this good idea. Can you give updates on cons? So here you go. There's 3 cons that are coming up in the next little bit here. The first one is the really big one. This is Emerald City Comic Con that's actually taking place at the Washington State Convention Center, March 14th and 17th. And this thing, and I'll actually put the URL for the official website in the description of the video. This thing is, as you know, billed as the destination for comic and pop culture shows in the Pacific Northwest. CGC will actually be in attendance. As you guys know, CGC has cut back the number of cons that they're attending, but CGC will be in attendance at Emerald City Comic Con. This thing is packed. This thing is packed full of stars from shows like the Stranger Things. Stranger Things is going to be there. I think there are like 3 or 4 of the actors from that show are going to be there. And I love Stranger Things. So check that out. There's a ton of writers and artists, including guys like Donnie Cates, and also Mark Brooks will be in the house. If you are in Lexington, Kentucky area, March 21st through 24th, the Lexington Comic and Toy Convention is actually taking place in Lexington, Kentucky at the convention center there. I'll put the link in the description. They are expecting 30,000 guests. I mean, that's actually impressive for Kentucky. I'm guessing there's people coming from surrounding states, but they're expecting 30,000 guests. They're having a lot of entertainers, including Val Kilmer, the guy that plays Luke Cage, Ron Perlman, and several actors from The Office and also from the Power Rangers. So that one seems like it's definitely heavily weighted towards entertainment, which might be why there's 30,000 people that are descending upon that area. CGC will not be in attendance, but again, if there's an interest in getting a signature from one of those guys, you can always check out that facilitator video that I did recently. Twin Cities Comics can also help you potentially if they're actually going to that con. I don't know. You may want to check their website. So Biggie Shack says he's pretty close to Kentucky. There you go. So you may want to swing by and check this one out, brother. I mean, I want to meet the Luke Cage guy. Mike, I follow him on Instagram. I think he's cool. Yeah, I like to meet that guy. There's a couple of people I think are really cool just from like what I see behind the scenes, not necessarily the on-camera version of them. But Mike seems like a pretty cool guy. So C2E2 is also coming up March 22nd through 23rd. This is in Illinois. I actually may be in Illinois around that time. So that's actually going down in Illinois. As I said, I'll put the link in the description. Jason Aaron is going to be there. Umberto Ramos is going to be there. Ed McGuinness, who I'm a big fan of, will be there. Frank Cho, Neil Adams, Nick Spencer, Rob Liefeld, Tyler Kirkham, and Mr. Chris Claremont will also be there, just to name a few. And then again, with this one, because of the size of C2E2, there will also be CGC on hand. And I think at this meeting, the C2E2, I think there are like 30 YouTubers that are also going to get together and actually be there. So I think that's really cool. So if you guys are in the area for that, I heard that these guys are actually going to have a booth in Artist Alley. So you may want to go by and check them out. Sully King says, Mike Coulter. Yeah, I think that's how you say his name. Coulter, maybe. Yes, he is indeed Luke Cage. There's one in Louisiana next weekend in Lafayette, says Wolf Mode. Wolf Mode, if you know any information on that, like the URL for that, drop that into the description. I think this is one of those things where there's a ton of cons everywhere, and I try to highlight a couple of the big ones and a couple of the local ones as best I can, but there's a lot more than what I'm going to find. So if you guys know of any cons that are happening in the month of March, be sure to put those up in the thing here so people can find them. And what I'm basically doing is because this is a weekly show, I basically do the cons that are coming up in like the next 2 weeks. So there's at least one other con that I'm aware of in March that I'll talk about on next week's show, and then I'll probably spill over into the next month as well. So someone said Motor City Comic-Con is in May. Yeah, very nice. I'm from Detroit. I'm not sure if you know that. And Sully King says that Mike is actually a good guy. Very nice. JM Comics is going to MegaCon. Very nice. Yeah. I mean, again, I've heard nothing but positive things about the guy. I watch him on Instagram for International Women's Day. He actually put up a photo, I think, of his two daughters. And he was like, here's my only contribution to International Women's Day. And it was a photo of him with his two daughters. I thought that was awesome. As a family man and as a father of a daughter, I definitely dig that. So that was a really cool gesture. And again, there's a lot of cool stuff that he does. But as I mentioned, guys, I think I mentioned this throughout this thing, I'm always open to suggestions that people have about the channel. I don't always do it maybe the way that people want it to be done, but I'm always open to suggestions that people have for topics or guests or something like that. I sent out another round of invites just last week, and I'm hoping that I can actually pull in some additional guests into the channel in the next couple of weeks. There are actually some big names on my list, so hopefully I can pull some in, and I'm also trying to pull in some creators as well. And if I can do that, I think that would be a really nice addition to what it is that we've been doing over the last couple of weeks with like CGC and cover price guide and et cetera, et cetera. So I think it'll be cool. So fingers crossed that we can make some of that stuff happen. So, all right. Harvey says, good night, brother. It is good to see you guys. All right. So with that, I'm actually going to wrap this thing up. I like to keep these a little bit short if I can. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. And like I said, if you do have some recommendations for topics or guests for the show, don't hesitate to send me a message at reggiecollects@gmail.com or reggiecollects and on Instagram. So I'm always available to you guys. Let me go ahead and show this because I think the Atlanta Comic-Con, I want to make sure people can see that. Todd Father is a hard man to get out of his office, brother. Let me tell you from what I hear. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I want to say congratulations to the winners of the last few giveaways. And I would say to everyone who is here watching this video, don't lose hope. We are still going to be giving away this stuff every single week. And so my hope is that you at some point will be able to win this. Again, a huge shout out to Go Collect for putting us in a position to be able to give these things away. And if you guys need me, feel free to reach out. I am always available to you. Good night.